Okay, next I'm going to play for you 3 pieces by Claude Debussy, French impressionist composer. I call the set Suite Bergamasque No. 2, and I'll explain that. I'm sure many of you know the Suite Bergamasque, which contains Debussy's most famous piece, Clair de Lune. When Debussy wrote these 3 pieces, he wanted to call it Suite Bergamasque. Bergamo is a city in Italy famous for its Commedia dell'arte. And he wanted to call it that, but the publisher was just about to publish the first Suite Bergamasque. So he didn't give Debussy permission to use the title. So instead the 3 pieces were published separately, but they are set, as I will explain. In the summer of 1904, Debussy fell in love with Emma Bardak, who was the wife of a rich banker. Debussy himself was married to Lily, who was a seamstress. And Claude Debussy and Emma Bardak ran off, they eloped to the Isle of Jersey, and leaving their spouses behind, and they spent a wonderful summer on the Isle of Jersey in the English Channel. I've actually been there, there's a museum there, and a fantastic website also about the time that they spent in Jersey. While he was there, he composed the pieces that I'm going to play for you. And the 3rd piece is called L'Île Joyeuse, which means the happy island. And the island was the island of Jersey, where he lived with Emma. In all 3 of the pieces, you can hear the sunlight and you can hear how happy he was. The first piece is called Masques, which refers to the masks of the Commedia dell'arte. It's kind of on the surface a light piece, but underneath it, it's quite dark currents. The second piece is called From a Sketchbook, un cahier d'esquisse, and it contains a lot of material that turned up later in La Mer, his most famous orchestral piece, which he also worked on while he was in Jersey. So the piece may, in a sense, be a sketch for La Mer. And the 3rd piece is called The Happy Island, L'Île Joyeuse. They're very clearly meant as a suite because unique to Debussy's work, he loved to publish music in sets of 3s. Piano pieces all come in sets of 3s. Usually as 2 slow pieces and a fast piece. But here we have fast, slow, fast. But more important than that, all 3 pieces share the same motifs. I'll show you. There's this motif of alternating thirds. In Masques, it's like this. In the cahier d'esquisse, From a Sketchbook, it's. And in L'Île Joyeuse, it's. So it's shared in all 3 pieces. More than that, at the end of the cahier d'esquisse, you hear this motif, and you hear that at the end of L'Île Joyeuse, very loud. So the 3 pieces are really meant to be arranged as a set. I figured this out, a long time ago, maybe 30, 40 years ago, but then a musicologist from England, who was the Debussy expert in the world, Roy Howard, he proved it through musicological research. And what he said himself, he had proved what many pianists had already understood, which is that these pieces are to be formed as a set. When I put this program together, after I put it together, I discovered that I had put on it 2 pieces, 2 major works that are about forbidden love and the ocean. In the Liszt piece, you have Hero and Leander, whose love story ends in death and apotheosis. But in this piece, you have 2 people very much in love who've run off for an erotic weekend, or they stay there for a few months, erotic months at the Isle of Jersey, and you can just hear how happy they were, and frankly, how erotic this piece is.